Oh, this is weird. ah. Hello, I'm doing my first live video on YouTube, so the setup's really weird, and I don't like how close it is. All right, I just wanted to try this out and come by and say hello to those of you who are my subscribers on YouTube. I really appreciate your support, and thank you for subscribing. If you have not yet, my tripod doesn't stay up, so it's going to keep going down. If you have not subscribed, if you're watching this, or if you've not hit the bell notification, do that because that helps you get notified. And also, for my videos, when you're watching them, I feel like them, do the thumbs up. That would help a lot. Thank you so much. Well, I wanted to come on and say hello live, and I want to do more lives. But first of all, I had to kind of get used to the whole setup and how it worked. And so, and I don't know where to look. I think I'm looking over here. It's so weird. So I got my video the other way. I just wanted to tell you a bit about myself for those of you who might be new to my channel. I have been doing this type of work. So I've been on YouTube since about it's going down, right? I'm going to have to keep pulling it up unless I put it on top of something, which I don't. This is not going to be tall enough. Let's see. See? It's just like, it just keeps going down. So I've been on since about 2011, and I started as a raw food chef on here. Now I've been a personal trainer, a yoga instructor, and worked as a raw food chef, helped open up a restaurant with another girl, did all the recipes, did all the menu plans, helped set up a restaurant that had raw and vegan food here in the city I live in on Vancouver Island. So I did that. And I became really passionate about helping women. I always have been live healthier lives and be healthier, right? And be fit and healthy. And when I started going through the midlife phase, I was already really super fit. So I was a personal trainer, yoga instructor. I did adventure racing. I was mountain biking, kayaking, trail running, working at a fitness studio that was one-on-one. So I was really kind of working out with my clients one-on-one. But there came a time when I started noticing crazy symptoms, right? Now, I was only 43 years old. I didn't know, to me, menopause was you get hot flashes, you're around 50 or 50 years old or older, and all I knew was the hot flashes. I didn't know anything else. I didn't know there was any emotional symptoms at all. I didn't understand the hormones or what they were doing in the body at all. No one really talked about it. I just remember my mom having hot flashes. Now, see, there's my tripod. Now I remember my mom gaining weight at that phase of life. She gained weight and people were kind of laughing, right? Because my mom was very thin. And she would just laugh, oh, well, but no one knew it was a symptom, like it was a result of going through the midlife change. We didn't know. And then all of a sudden my mom was losing weight, never had to gain weight, never gained weight again. And I was like, we didn't even think about it. So when I started going through it at the age of 43, I was only 43. So if you're watching, let me know you're watching live and if you can see everything good. I'm going to go on my channel. So I started going through these changes. I can't handle this tripod, you guys. I'm having a really hard time with this. It's just going to go right flat down. And I should have figured this out before. Just a minute. Okay. There we go. That's going to be good enough. So I started going through the changes in midlife. And it was, first of all, I started noticing like the memory problems, the brain fog, the way I was thinking, the over-emotional, right? The emotions, the really ups and downs of emotions. I started feeling like I was going crazy. I was really getting worried. And my digestive problems got way worse. I started feeling way worse. I got tired, fatigued, to the point then after a while, I was almost completely exhausted. I was working as a personal trainer. I couldn't stay awake. I couldn't wake up in the morning. I had to live on big things of coffee, and I still felt exhausted. So all of this is going on. I'm like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. I went from being really healthy and super fit to all of a sudden feeling way worse and not knowing what was going on. Okay. At that time, I'm 56 now, and that was when I was 43. So that many years ago, there was really no Facebook. There was no Facebook. I think YouTube had just started. Like, I don't even know if YouTube were probably just started. The only resource I had was books. So I went to like Chapters, and I saw a book, Women's Bodies, Women's Health, Christine Northrup, and then I started reading more, and the symptoms I was experiencing, I'm like, those are menopause symptoms. Why am I at 43 noticing any of these symptoms? Why am I having these symptoms? So I went to naturopaths, I went to Chinese doctors, I did acupuncture for the symptoms, not understanding why I was feeling the way I was. I went to the doctor and I got checked out. I got all my symptoms checked. Hi, whoever's watching. So they just did my blood work and everything came out fine. I'm low on iron, so that often comes out, and I know that. I've been like that since I've been in my 20s, right? So they checked everything, and I had like things done with my digestive system and my bladder, so I had everything checked out. As far as I know, they know I was healthy and everything was fine. And so then I went back and I started doing my own research, reading, research, doing as much as I could. And like I said, I finally found, oh my goodness, I'm going through the midlife change. So, okay, I don't know what some came out. Hi guys who are starting to I'm just it's my first live video, and I'm just talking about my experience and how I found out about my symptoms in midlife and stuff. So I was very young, 43. And as time went on, I just worked on being more healthy, right? Like I worked on, okay, I'm feeling terrible, so I have to watch what I eat. I have to get more sleep, get more rest. I was already exercising like crazy. And then, so the symptoms were there. That was bad enough to handle, right? Some days I was so emotional that I couldn't even go to work. I'm like, hi guys. So nice to have you here. If you have any questions, post them in the comments and I'll answer them for you. There were days when I was so emotional, I couldn't go to work. I was driving my car and I was just crying and crying and crying. And I didn't know why. There was really no reason. I had to call into work because I'm like, there's no way I can go into work. I'm too emotional. So I remember times like that, right? We're thinking, what is wrong with me? Am I depressed? Am I in depression? And then I got anxiety for the first time in my whole entire life. Never experienced that before. That threw me right off. So I had all these weird emotional things, as well as the physical symptoms. And then when I started gaining weight, my belly started to grow, when I had never had a weight problem before in my whole entire life, when I started gaining weight, that's what really caught my attention. And again, I began to read more and I look into different ways of eating. So I was eating I was eating healthy. I was eating really healthy. I just was eating the wrong foods for midlife. So I was not eating meat at the time, and I was eating more vegetarian. I was eating some eggs and some fish, but no meats. But also I was eating lots of brown rice, lots of lentils, lots of beans. To me, and of course to and oatmeal, we all know those are really healthy for us. So for me, somebody who didn't eat meat, I tended to overeat starch. I loved crackers. I loved rice cakes. I loved all of those things. I like breads. I like muffins. And even when I started going gluten-free, I was still consuming gluten-free breads, gluten-free muffins, gluten-free bagels, all of those types of things. And I got acid reflux. And my digestive problems were so bad. They were so bad. I just felt terrible all the time. Right? And I gained more weight and more weight. So what I decided was, of course, this led me more research on nutrition. And so I was like, well, if I'm exercising a lot, then it must be the food. The reason why I'm gaining weight has to be the food. So I began to look more into it, and I began to look for recipes that were lower in starch and no gluten. And that's how I found raw foods. So I found raw food recipes, and I started following that. I became really excited about raw food recipes and the juicing and the smoothies and the water fasts and the cleansing and eating nut and seed pates and eating no cooked starches and basically no cooked food. I went high raw, which means you eat close to 80% raw foods only. And I did that for 1.5 years. Okay. Because once I did it, I began to feel really good. My weight gain stopped. My digestive system got better. And I was loving the food. My energy went through the roof. So I got rid of my heavy starches. I got rid of a lot of really heavily cooked food because I love soups. I loved vegetarian chili. I couldn't eat any of those things anymore. They made me feel horrible. So I stopped doing any of that. And I started getting really interested in the raw food world. And that's when I decided to become a raw food chef, learn way more about it, study more about nutrition. Took a holistic nutritionist course and really dove into things. And as I began to change what I ate, notice my body, I did colonics, I did some cleanses, I did some water fasts, all of those things too at the same time, right? Chiropractor, acupuncture, energy work, all of that. I did everything and I took tons of supplements. I saw a naturopathic doctor. I realized I had adrenal fatigue when I was really tired. So I went to a naturopath. She put me on lots of supplements. I had to give up my coffee for a while and I had to get lots and lots of rest. So basically I changed my life. I decided that I didn't want to feel terrible anymore. I was going to completely change my life. I said, no way more. I didn't go out for a while. I was feeling terrible anyways. I changed what I ate. I got way more rest. I started doing yoga and more breathing instead of any type of big, heavy workouts because those exhausted me. And anyways, I started getting injured. My body just broke right down completely. I had to stop being a personal trainer because I kept getting injured. My body was just breaking down on all levels. And so I found raw food and I continued to eat those foods. I felt amazing. My energy went up. I was taking supplements. I was doing super powders and I was feeling so good. And that's of course when I started teaching raw food classes. I started becoming a coach. I started helping women and incorporating all the things that I learned through my journey to help them. Because I'm no one knows this stuff. And women going through midlife, going through this hormonal change and this midlife change, how are they handling this? How are they doing it? Because if I was feeling that terrible, I couldn't imagine, right? And I had some knowledge. So I continued to study and learn, study everything I could about hormones and how they affect, and I still do learn a lot more about them. How they affect you, how food affects them. What is the change in midlife? Why is it different in midlife? Why do you have to change what you eat in midlife? All of those things are what I learned, applied to myself. It worked. Started helping clients, started helping people, and it worked for them also. So it was a really big aha moments. And yeah, that's kind of my journey. And now I am 56. I finished menopause at 48. I was very young, very young. That means by the age of 48, I hadn't had a period for 1 full year. 1 full year I hadn't had a period. Do you have a book? No, I don't have a book. I might get a book. I might do a book. I have in my program, Where to Start program, which is on my website, dianamarchand.com. You can look at, I have a Where to Start program. And that is, you get a lot of handouts and printouts and as well as videos. And yeah, it's kind of like a book. You could print it out and it is kind of like a book and it gives you all the information. And it's all about the food. So my Where to Start program is definitely all about the food. It is what I learned. And it gives you all the recipes too, as well as videos on making the food and stuff. And it's food that you can just eat. It's not odd, stupid food. It is food that you can find in grocery stores, some things you can find at a health food store, because I'm all about using the food. To me, it's all about food. I don't, in Where to Start, go deep into supplements or super powders because that is better if I work with you because I need to know more about you to suggest certain things, right? But there's always the basics. And if you've watched some of my videos, you know I do videos on superfoods, super powders, really big on that. And I just did one on my Facebook group, Women Creating Healthy Lives, today on, and I'll post that on YouTube too. It was on foods that help increase bone mass, right? And decrease inflammation, boost your immune system, and boost your energy. So I did a video on that, which I'll upload to YouTube here. Because it's really all about you changing what you eat to the foods that, well, everybody should be eating because they're super healthy for ourselves, right? The standard American diet and Canadian, whatever, is not healthy for us. And I know someone commented about coffee. When you have adrenal fatigue, so I do have coffee. I have 1 coffee a day for sure, sometimes 2. When you have adrenal fatigue, and you can look that up if you want, adrenal fatigue, and find out more about that. That means that your adrenal glands, which produce hormones, they also produce hormones, cortisol and adrenaline, and they give you your energy. Woo, right? Your energy. They're responsible for if someone's chasing you and you get that burst of energy and you're able to run. Well, if your adrenal glands are producing too much cortisol, too much adrenaline nonstop because you're stressed most of the time, what happens is they get tired, they get exhausted, they stop working properly. And then you plummet and you feel exhausted. You feel super tired. You're like, oh my God, really hard time waking up in the day. Nothing seems to keep you awake. You're drinking coffee and you're still exhausted. That's a sign you probably have adrenal fatigue. And adrenal fatigue is very, very common for women. Pretty much, I'd say 90% of women during the midlife phase end up in adrenal fatigue. It's that common, right? But they don't know what it is. So, turmeric and black pepper and a good fat. So you want to have turmeric with a little bit of black pepper. And let's say, so if you're making a drink with turmeric, you would have it with a bit of coconut oil, turmeric and black pepper, because you need the oil to help absorb the turmeric and you need the black pepper too. But what you need is greens, minerals. Okay? So you need more minerals and greens than you've ever could imagine during this phase of life, because that's the exact nutrients your glands need to produce the hormones. Most people are mineral deficient, not protein deficient. Most people get way too much protein in this phase of life. And they're actually less minerals, which are vegetables and greens. Okay? And some grains and nuts and seeds too. But there's healthier way to consume grains, healthier way to consume nuts and seeds, okay? Not roasted, not oily. I'm talking raw. And the raw food recipes really show you how to consume the nuts and seeds in a way where they're more bioavailable, which means you're able to absorb the nutrients, the minerals from them, as well as the good fibers, and digest them in a way that's easier on your digestive system. And that is done by sprouting or soaking them, okay? Now, certain grains are really hard on your system. And in midlife, certain grains are not good for you, and your body can't metabolize them very well. So any starchy, heavy foods like brown rices, potatoes, sweet potatoes, pasta for sure, your body kind of sees those things, it takes it in, and instead of using it for fuel, it goes right to fat. It sees it as sugar. Your body can't metabolize starchy foods very well in midlife, and they tend to go right to fat. So anybody still having any kind of breads, gluten-free, sprouted bread, anything like that, any kind of breads, muffins, bagels, pastas, rice, sweet potatoes, those oatmeal's a big one. Cooked oatmeal goes right to fat in midlife. Like right to fat. Bananas, right to fat in midlife. If you eat grapes on their own, that's pure sugar going right to fat. If you eat raisins or any dried fruit, right to fat. And that's pure sugar. It's not good for it. I mean, it's bad for inflammation within your body too, okay? So any of the grains, your body during this midlife phase with all the other hormones going kind of a little wacky, it doesn't metabolize those things very well anymore. And that causes the havoc within. That causes the weight gain, and that causes you to feel sluggish, the brain fog, tired, bloated, acid reflux, digestive problems, all of those. And a lot of the meats you may not be able to handle that well either. So a lot of the red meats or heavier meats. If you're somebody who does a lot of wild meat or organic grass-fed, really good meat from a local farmer or something, you might be able to handle that totally fine. But the conventional meats that are full of antibiotics and growth hormones, just think about this. Chickens, beef, pork are pumped full of growth hormone. You eat that food, that meat, you're getting the growth hormone. What does it do? It fattens you up. It's meant to fatten the meat up. It's going to fatten you up. Okay? That's why so many women and so many people end up heavy, and then they eat combined meat with pasta or rice, super hard on your digestive system. Those combination together completely just put on fat, as well as they're inflammatory, so they cause inflammation in your body. They will, they're acidic foods, so they actually pull minerals from your bones, so they actually aid osteoporosis. So foods like dairy, meat, alcohol, coffee, sugar, and heavy starches are some of the worst things you can consume when you're going through the midlife change. Okay? They're going to be unhealthy for your body, cause inflammation, lack of energy, definitely weight gain, fat gain, and lower your energy, and also cause your body to pull minerals from your bone to balance the pH level of your body, because you're eating too many acidic foods and not enough alkaline foods. So a high alkaline food is something as simple as a lemon. So I don't know if you've heard of warm lemon water first thing in the morning from real lemon, like half a lemon or almost half a lemon. Depends on, I can't handle too much lemon, but in warm water first thing in the morning is one of the best things you can do. And then of course, you know, get rid of as much sugar as you can, and all the white stuff, right? The breads and the pastas and all of those types of things. Yes, I'll tell you why keto works. Yeah, I'll tell you why keto works. And keto must be done the right way to be healthy. To be healthy. So keto, why keto works is because you're getting rid of the simple carbohydrates, you're getting rid of the starchy carbohydrates, and you're getting rid of the sugar. That's why it works. That's why keto works. You're getting rid of all those things that spike your blood sugar level, which are all high in sugars as your body sees them. You're eating more good fats. Your body needs, your hormones need good fats. So if someone goes on a fat-free diet, that's the worst thing you can do in midlife. That's one of the worst things you can do. You want lots of good fats, which keto talks about. You want very, very little starchy carbohydrates, which keto does. And you want to get rid of your sugars, and lots of your fruit at this phase of life is considered like sugar for your body. That's what keto does. Now, keto the right way would for midlife, and Dr. Berg, Dr. B-E-R-G, he's excellent. He talks about doing keto for women in midlife. You're not the same as a 20-year-old doing keto. You're not the same as a 30-year-old doing keto. You're not the same as a man doing a keto diet, okay? You need minerals, because in midlife, your glands need minerals and essential fatty acids, minerals and good fats to produce the hormones properly. That's the building blocks. So if you're not getting enough vegetables and fresh greens, cooked and raw, and which have a lot of high fiber, right? It's not going to be healthy. So keto for women in midlife must be done where they still do broccoli, cauliflower, fresh greens, and that is the way it's supposed to be. And your meats should be free from hormones, free from growth hormones, free from antibiotics. That means non-grocery store meats. That means the meats that are wild, or the meats that come from local farms, things like that. That is really important. And cheese doing keto, I totally disagree with all the cheese they eat in keto, and I'll tell you why. For women in midlife, cheese is acidic food. It's an acidic food. It's mucus forming in the body and it's acidic. And what too much acidic food does for you, it brings your pH balance to more acidity. Your body, to help balance that, to get you more of a, so you have alkaline and acidity, right? Your body needs more alkaline to help balance all the acidity from all the cheese and the meat. Meat's really acidic too. So what it does is it pulls the minerals from your bones, because that's where you store these minerals, pulls the minerals from your bones to help balance your body. So if you're not eating foods high in minerals in midlife, it'll pull the minerals from your bones, okay, to create more of an alkaline environment. So what you want to do is have lots and lots of greens, fresh, cooked, lots and lots of vegetables, all different kinds, and nuts and seeds done right. So foods that are high in minerals. We're talking seaweeds too. We're talking super powders like chlorella, spirulina, wheatgrass, things like chia seeds. Make sure they're hydrated with water. Hemp seeds, right, which have minerals, which have fatty acids. So you need really, really, really good healthy foods. And super powders, which are in green smoothies, you can put in your green smoothies, and having lots of salads, having lots of vegetables, and then having your really good lean meats if you want to do keto, right? Stay away from a lot of cheese because it brings your body into more of an acidic environment, and that will start to pull minerals from your bones, you guys. So although cheese tastes good and I absolutely love it, not good for you, not good for you ever, but in moderation. As long as you consume a lot of really healthy foods at the same time, then it's not so bad, right? You're a man, by the way. Oh, you're a man. Okay. Then, yeah, for you, it's a different story. So do not eat meat with rice so you should not, you should not, and even for a man, you should not combine meat with a starch, which every cooking show does, every restaurant does. Your body, when you're digesting, produces digestive enzymes for either a meat protein, or starch carbohydrate, let's say. So if you're eating both at the same time, it's going to do one. So let's say you're going to have more enzymes to break down the meat, but you're not going to have enough digestive enzymes to break down the starch. So then what's going to happen, the starch and carbohydrates, what's going to happen is they're not going to be digested very well. So they're going to sit and putrefy in your gut, causing bad bacteria, causing leaky gut. If you don't know what that is, look that up. Causing you to feel bloated, gassy, uncomfortable, and all of them start to develop pockets in the linings of your digestion, of your intestines, and they kind of get hidden in these pockets, but they spoil and they turn toxic and they end up poking holes. What they break down turns toxic and pokes holes in your intestines, and that causes the toxins to leak out into your system, which is very dangerous. So when your food's not properly digested, a lot of bad things can happen. So if you eat vegetables with meat, or starches like potatoes with vegetables or grains, but not potatoes and meat together, or rice and meat together, or pasta and, spaghetti and meatballs, right? Very bad combination. We're just, in the last little while, we're really understanding how the body works, functions, and health-wise, the best way is to keep those two things separate, and you will feel a lot better. So anybody who suffers from bloating, gas, weight gain, acid reflux, heartburn, digestive problems, should really practice food combining rules. So you can just look up food combining rules and start to follow some of those food combining rules, and you will feel so much better. You'll probably feel more energy too, because when your digestive system is bogged down and things aren't getting digested properly, it takes up a lot of energy. So just like after you eat a big, huge meal, like turkey dinner, let's say, you feel really tired, not also because of the tryptophan and the meat, but because your body's really busy and puts a lot of energy into the digestive process. So you feel tired. When your body's working really hard to digest, you feel tired. Okay. That's also not good for you. Yeah, keep them separate and really important. I know, really important. Chickpeas are great. You can combine, now chickpeas are like a starch. So what I want you to have is, let's say if you have cauliflower, having a salad with that would be perfect. Organic meat, cauliflower, a few chickpeas, and lots of salad. Lots of cauliflower. Lots and lots of vegetables, salads all the time, tons of greens, more vegetables than you can imagine eating. Because your body needs it, right? Your body needs it. My dog needs it. Yeah, so that's kind of the most important thing is you really want to get the essential fatty acids, and now amino acids are in all foods, basically except sugar. Sugar doesn't have any protein, but broccoli has protein, leafy greens has protein, spinach, kale, bok choy. Bok choy has a lot of calcium. Cabbage has a lot of calcium. Sesame seeds have calcium. Chia seeds have lots of calcium. Hemp seeds have calcium. When sometimes women want to know this, right? So we get our minerals, and broccoli has good amount of protein. Pumpkin seeds are very high in protein as well as very high in zinc. Brazil nuts are really high in selenium. And selenium is a really important mineral for midlife. All minerals are important in midlife. All minerals. You cannot go wrong by consuming tons of foods with really good minerals in midlife. They're going to make you feel way better. Your body's going to come into way better balance, right? And the sugar, I'm afraid, is really bad. Now, some people ask me about dark chocolate. What would be worse, dark chocolate or a cinnamon bun? Cinnamon bun by far. A cookie is worse than dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is fine to have in moderation. I never tell my women to get rid of dark chocolate. Never. It's not about that. It's about bringing in way, way, way more healthy foods. And I think a big part of it is a lot of women, or a lot of people, my mom, we weren't taught how to cook vegetables that taste good, right? So sometimes people don't know how to cook vegetables in a way that tastes really good. Or they stick with only one vegetable. And so you have this one bland vegetable at dinner, right? I love combining vegetables, and I love sauteing and doing like stir fries and garlic, ginger, onions, sauteing things like that, adding some spices, adding some herbs, adding some flavors. And that could be spice blends you buy, right? Herb blends you buy, Himalayan salt, things like that to give the flavor to your vegetables, okay? And that's what the most should be. Yes, that is right, like you call it the China thing. Yes, zinc and vitamin D and vitamin C. So, lots of vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, lots of minerals actually. But vitamin C. So if someone has 2 green smoothies a day, I cannot recommend it enough. Your green smoothie should have fresh greens, green powder blends, a high vitamin C powder like camu, or baobab, or amla. I'll write them in here. Super powders. So there's 3 powders that are super high in vitamin C and also are really good for calcium and other nutrients, lots of other nutrients. My computer just died. My computer died, so I can't see your comments anymore. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, there we go. Now we got them. A lot of water, yes, a lot of good water, filtered good water. Another thing I didn't talk about, which I'll talk about real quickly, don't microwave anything. Microwave completely changes the molecular structure of things. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for your food. It's not healthy for your body. Don't even warm up your food in a microwave. Use a saute pan with a bit of water, put a cover on it, and that'll heat up your food in about 5 minutes. It's worth the extra time. Yeah. And don't microwave anything in plastic ever, because the plastic toxins leach into your food. Same with plastic water bottles, leaving those in a warm environment. Don't do that. Just my light died. My light. Okay. I've been on for now. This is really cool. I really like doing live videos on Facebook. If you're not part of my Facebook community, Women Creating Healthy Lives, that is my free Facebook community of 3,000 women over the age of 40. And sometimes I post videos of me making dinner, what I make for dinner, how I make the dinner, how recipe videos that are kind of fun. And I do lots and lots of special trainings for you guys for over there. And we have conversations. You can ask me questions. You can request video topics. So all of that is in Women Creating Healthy Lives. If you're on Facebook, make sure to come and join me there. It's a great community of women. Oh, thank you. Thank you. My hair's actually natural curly. I've straightened it for a few days, but it's actually natural curly. Yeah, really, truly, what you eat completely can change your skin. So if you have any kids or anybody you know with skin problems, it's probably what they're eating. Eggs, some people have bad reaction to eggs and don't know that and can have skin problems. Dairy, wheat, gluten, any of that should be given up completely. It will age you, it will age you faster. So high mineral foods, high alkaline foods, go Google what those are. Eat more of those. Eat more plants. Make your own food. Don't eat packaged food as much as possible. Don't eat it. I have a few, but I read all ingredients. Read all the ingredients of everything you buy. Bought salad dressings are some of the worst things you can buy, so note for that. Same with bottled sauces, spice mixes. Read the ingredients. Make sure it's just the spices, no extra junk. And natural flavoring never means natural. It is only flavorings made with chemicals that are made to taste like the natural thing. So when you see natural flavorings or all natural, it doesn't mean it's real. Okay, so much love to you guys. Thank you so much for joining in on my first live video. It was so great to have you here. You can post any comments about any future video topics you would like. That really helps me to know what you're interested in learning about. All right, maybe I'll see you on the Facebook page. Have a wonderful night, you guys. Thank you for showing up. Bye-bye. I got to figure out how to shut this off. So give me a minute. I don't know how to shut it off. I forgot how to do this. I saw it one time. Nah. This is going to be hard. I don't know how to shut. Oh, there we go.